How's it going, everyone? Alright, I'm also here on camera as well as my PNG tuber. I hope you can hear me alright. It's been a minute since I've streamed, so this is all sort of reorienting myself. But yeah, there's some new features. If you've seen my streams before, this is a very different layout. So I'm trying some new things. For instance, I have a PNG tuber now. I've got my avatar on there speaking on my behalf. And yeah, and since this is going to be a more art central live stream channel, the layout has changed so that we can focus on our reference images, and then a lot of the art I'm going to do is traditional rather than digital, so I also have a camera set up with all of the art supplies I'm going to use during today's stream. So if you're tuning in, first of all, welcome to House of Moo. My online persona goes by the witch Moo, and she's sort of the representative of my creative business, my creative practice, and sort of embodies my sort of artistic aspirations as well as the sort of character and personality I hope to inject into my art. But yeah, so welcome. If you are following me from social media, then you'll know what today's theme is, and if you are brand new and stumbled upon my little corner of the internet, then this is Art After Light, which is my little weekly live streams that I plan for people to participate in a traditional form of art practice together. It is open to any medium, so you can work in whatever form of medium that you find comfortable with or would like to practice in. And you know, I did do a quick tech check before we started, and it looked like everything was okay. It seemed like my voice was a manageable level, but let me know if any of the audio cues are like really off, or something is wrong. You can hear me too well, things like that. But yeah, I wanted to start off by introducing the supplies I'll be working with. I'll be working traditionally in a variety of mediums that I've been kind of experimenting with. This is the blank page I will be using, and before we start I wanted to share the cover because I love the stickers I chose for this sketchbook. So here is my sketchbook that I'll be using today. It's a pretty big, like sort of a general, not specialty paper. I want to say it's just like a rough grit paper stock, not too heavy, sort of mid-weight. It's not watercolor paper, but I am going to use water on it, and we'll see if that is a good idea. But I wanted to share the cover because I love some of the stickers I've put on here. These are from some of my favorite artists, so I hope you guys also have a sketchbook or, you know, even loose leaf paper, things lying around, surfaces that you can just draw onto. I highly encourage everyone to follow today's theme, which is a timed study. We're going to be doing sort of using our reference picture here of this summer bouquet to do a quick little sketch, and they will be within different time frames, so that you see that little timer at the bottom there, which will count down once we get started, starting with the most time, which will be 30 minutes, and then the shortest time at the end will be 10 seconds. So the goal is just so everyone can like use the same reference material and have their own approach to interpreting the image, showing the image, and just kind of, yeah, experimenting all together under sort of a similar frame for all of us. I've never done time studies before. Like I'm kind of like a really slow artist. I draw very slowly. I draw like there's no deadline. So this is kind of a way for me to kind of jumpstart getting into the habit of drawing faster, trying to capture composition, colors, imagery in as succinct a way as possible under different time frames. So that's kind of the goal. But yeah, so this is my sketchbook I'll be working with today. And then this whole area of mine has 3 lamps shining at the moment. The last time I did a traditional sort of camera view of my artwork, and it wasn't digital, was like because I like to stream at night, like almost at dusk period, turning into night, it got progressively dark and it got really hard to see, and the camera did not capture very well what I was drawing. So this time I've set up so that I have as much light as possible, but because of that, there's now this like little corner of my desk that's like extremely hot right now because there's 3 lamps on. But yeah, yeah, feel free to you know, chat away if you want to. YouTube, if you're on YouTube Live, you can chat in the chat room. I also have a Discord, so if you go down to the description for this video, there's a link to join my Discord, which is the House of Moo. I highly encourage joining the Discord if you want to share your artwork, like things that we do together on live streams, and you want to participate and share some of the work you've done, and for us to, you know, applaud and give you congratulatory remarks and compliments. If you like the idea of that, then please join the Discord and have your beautiful artwork go up there. But yeah, so I'm going to say that I'm trying to create a general framework for people joining in right now. I'm just kind of procrastinating a little bit because just in case people are joining a little bit late. But let me just give you guys the time frame. So we're gonna go from 30 minutes, like I said, which is the longest period, 30 minutes to draw this reference picture next to me, and then the next will be 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we'll do 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll do 2 minutes, and then 30 seconds, and then lastly 10 seconds. This is not going to be like one after the other. We'll build in like breaks in between so that you have time to kind of gather your thoughts if you want to go into chat and say, oh, this was like a bit of an issue for me, or this worked well for me, blah blah blah. That would be really fun to talk about everyone's thoughts after each time period. And the idea is to like just kind of give everyone a sense of a little bit of urgency, but also just to capture things as quickly as possible and have that come more naturally. And that can only happen if you've done an image multiple times. So in this case, we'll be drawing this orange and blue bouquet of summer blossoms, six different time frames. So yeah. If you can't see the photo very well on the stream, if you join the Discord, there is a reference picture that is larger that you can reference. It's going to be in the prompts channel under live streams. So that is another recommendation to join the Discord, is to see the reference photo a little bit more clearly. Obviously, because the one I have on here is on the stream screen is covered with a bunch of things. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So yeah, let me get the prompt up. And like I said, the first timing is going to be about, oh, I forgot my pencil. Oh, it's all right. I will just, I'm not going to get up. I will just draw with a pen real quick. All right, so this is my blank page. I was kind of debating, you know, with 30 seconds, I'm not starting now, I'm just doing a big general outline. I actually might raise the camera for you all just a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to do a very like general like outline of where I kind of want my image to be, but you know, maybe I'm making it harder for myself by telling myself to fill this big page. But I find that this sort of works for me because I find blank pages really intimidating. That's kind of a really hard obstacle for me to overcome when I start a new page or a new sketchbook. So I just start by like I just draw something. Like, it doesn't have to be anything in particular. I just have something on the page, and it sort of breaks the intimidation for me. It breaks the illusion that this has to be perfect from the beginning. So yeah, if that helps for you, definitely go for it. Sometimes, you know, I do a lot of watercolor lately, and I do a big general wash, or I use a marker and I just like kind of fill the page with random strokes, something that's very light so that I can just add detail and layer on top of it. So yeah, that's like a helpful thing for me, is to just very generally fill a page as roughly as possible. So in this case, that's what I was going to do with, since we have 30 minutes, I think I have time to fill this page. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to have everyone just kind of set up for the next minute. We'll start in about a minute. Right now it's 6:09, so around like 6:10-ish, I'll start the countdown. Yeah, I'm going to use these 𝔸𝕣𝕥 𝔸𝕗𝕥 crayons. They're water soluble, so that they can kind of wash out and act like watercolor, but they also have really beautiful textures to them. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to use additional like color pencils and pens to layer on top of that. So that'll be my go-to. Okay, so we're gonna get started. So if everyone's still setting up, just get ready to start your pencils. I'll let you know. I'll do a countdown from 10. Sorry, I'm just hydrating myself because it's really hot in here. All right, so we've got 30 minutes. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, the timer has started. Feel free to go at your blank page. I feel very leisurely right now. And remember, this is the longest period we'll get, so about 30 minutes for everyone. I'm just gonna do like, I'm just breaking it in. I'm breaking in the page is my goal. Very roughly just following kind of this trail of clementines. Sometimes I'll be talking, sometimes I'll be concentrating. I'm very sorry if that's very inconsistent. I know everyone's probably concentrating as well. Okay, and then I like to work like very roughly a lot of the times nowadays. Sometimes I still work in a way that requires me to concentrate and put a lot of fine detail in the beginning. But I decided that for sketching, daily practice, it's better if I'm just keeping it very loosey-goosey. I'm trying to avoid the areas that have like high concentrations of those flowers, because that's a whole different color. I don't know if I like this blue. I'll choose a different blue. Oh no, my blue broke! Yeah, just, you know, this is my preferred method. Obviously, everyone's got their own medium. If you're working digitally, that used to be my go-to as well. Okay, and I'm very sorry if there's anyone on the Discord chatting. It will be, like, during these time studies, it's really tricky for me to be paying attention and reading chat when there's a lot of intense drawing happening. Alright, this is where we test this paper. Oh, something fell in my apartment. Yeah, I also chose this image. It reminded me of quite a lot of beautiful summer flowers blooming. Obviously the sort of orangey, tangerine growth is very reminiscent of and very citrusy fruit is very reminiscent of like summertime and heat. So that was my reason for choosing, but also because the color juxtaposition is really fantastic. It's blue and orange are opposing colors, but they make a really good color combination. And the sort of sagey green, the dark green is like a very nice neutral in between, which is kind of why I went for it. This is a picture I've saved ages ago, and I actually don't remember where I sourced it from, so I might have seen it on some like botanical Instagram page years and years ago. I know it's an old picture though, because I've had it saved in my sort of reference folder forever. But I never thought to use it until now, which is nice. It just like enables my hoarding now, knowing that all the images I save are something I could use in the future. Alright, this paper is buckling just a little bit, but not as, it's not like destroying the, oh wait, no, it is destroying the paper a little bit. Oh well, it's okay. This paper was not meant to be used for watercolor and large amounts of water. Alright, we still got a little bit of time. It's 25 minutes and 20 seconds. I might do that. I might just like do a little verbal shout out every now and again, so that you guys don't have to look up and check. I also have a little chime that will go off when the timer counts down, so all of us will know when the 30 minutes are completely up. Alright, I'm doing very gentle. I'm not filling in these blue circles because they're the flower pattern. I'm trying to leave those open. I'm like half looking at my sketchbook and half looking at the stream, so I feel like my spatial awareness is being tested today. Whew. I'm so glad even though it's really hot, I'm very glad I got all these lamps set up, because there was my last stream, which was a while ago, was way too dark. Okay, so something keeps falling and I'm a little worried. Could be my neighbor, who knows. Alright, I'm going to try and do like a darker green for the shadows in between. I might do like a mix of green maybe. Introducing some variable greens in here, so it's not all just blues and oranges. I'm liking the contrast in greens, but I actually think I want more of that first green to take up most of it, so. As you can see, I'm not following the exact layout of, I only approximated. I try to get like the cluster of oranges in the middle, and I try to capture that part. And then the rest of it is like, again, following the cluster of flowers, but yeah, I'm not spending a lot of, I feel like those are the high detail points for me, and not so much the leaves, so that's why the leaves are very rough looking. To me, the leaves, even though they're beautiful and provide a beautiful contrast, or like as a sort of like mediator color. It's still sort of the background for me, so I'm not spending too much time on it, especially because time is scarce. Keep adding more water even though the paper is kind of suffering for it. Yeah, so I see that we have a couple of people watching. I have I've kind of worked on this idea of art after light as a concept for a little while. There were a bit of like chances for me to try and implement it, but it was kind of a lot when I last streamed to conceptualize it to the level that I have it today. And I'm glad I like took a step back and gave it the proper attention that it needs, because I had like a really big idea that I felt like I didn't spend enough time executing properly. So, but yeah, my idea for Art After Light is that people come in and join these weekly live streams. At the moment, for Wednesday evening for me in the the East Coast, and it gives people a chance to practice together different drawing skills, different art techniques together as a group with a low barrier, so that it's not sort of high stakes. It's not too... Oh, we've got 20 minutes left, everyone, so we're at the 20-minute mark. So 10 minutes have passed. Yeah, so it gives everyone a chance to really work on the different skills that, like, if you were an art student who went to school for it, would probably learn. But this is not meant to, be anything like that. We're not creating an environment that's rigorous and academic based. It's mostly just a way for us to connect over a shared practice. And in this case, the shared practice is creativity and trying to do creative works together as a group. And a lot of my ideas came around the fact that, like, it's better to try and do something hard together, like other people, rather than to attempt it on your own. There will be moments where we'll need alone time to develop our own skills, but I feel like these are sort of a low barrier way to talk about what you want to achieve with your art, what you enjoy about it, and a lot of happiness in the world is better if it's shared. So I'm just letting it dry just a little bit. I am going to grab some additional colors. Oh, actually I might do the flower interior. I'm actually going to use a slightly different orange. Yeah, so that was the origin of this concept for Art After Light. I was doing a lot of live streaming in the past, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, but it was kind of stressful because I spent a lot of time just sort of... I felt like every stream I did was brand new. Like I was just kind of ad-libbing as I went. There are times where I try to like plan things and have things have a theme and stuff like that, but it was hard, and I felt like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to succeed, because like most of it was like games. A lot of my early streams were a combination of games and art together. Sorry, I was looking at the timer. Games and art together, and I felt like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to try all these different things. And gaming wise, it was fun, but I realized I just like gaming on my own time and not so much having all of the logistics of setting up a live stream involved. So that became kind of like more of a burden as time progressed, unfortunately. And so I still like gaming on my own time, but yeah, I think it doesn't have to be a stream. But also, because when people go online to see gamers stream, it's to see like, oh yeah, to see like a bunch of gamers do really well and things like that. And I play games to relax. I'm like a cozy streamer, not a pro competitive streamer. So it just felt like it was a demographic of people that probably would have been tough for me to relax in. So yeah. But I had a very creative start to 2026. It continues to be very creative. I'm surrounded by a lot of people who are very artistic in my life right now, and it's given me a lot of healing energy, and I've felt much better after just sort of immersing myself in more creative work. And that's where I found this idea. Or found the energy to execute this idea. Alright, I'm grabbing some crayons off to the side. I'm going to try... We've got about 15 minutes, so we're halfway through. 15 minutes and 30 seconds left. I'm going to try and test out these crayons. I'm going to just like fill in blocks of white here. Yeah, so like Art After Light has a bunch of topics that I've pre-planned in advance for every month. It gives me a lot of time to sort of batch work live streams, which can be life-saving. The hardest part about like trying to find sustainability in my live streams was that like I said, it felt like I was just sort of planning ad-lib last minute for many things, and I really did not want, and if I burnt out or was too tired or something came up, then it meant that the stream wasn't going to happen, and just felt very irregular and sort of irresponsible. So in order to maintain sort of regular consistency, I combined it with something else that I needed regular consistency with, which is creative art practice. And that's what this is to just make things, having an excuse to make things together. See some familiar faces online if you become regulars, things like that. And I feel like that's important. I feel like that's hard to find online. So okay, I'm really liking how this is all sort of blending in between the gaps. Oh man, this looks really rough for 15 minutes in, which makes me wonder how rough the other versions are going to be. And the 30 minutes sounds like a long time, but it really is not. I hope everyone else is, whoever's participating, or if you're just watching, I hope you are enjoying all of the art that's being made. And if you have opportunity to join either later today or in a future stream, would love that. Love to see you open your creative chest. Let the creative juices flow. Okay. Yes, so there will be a lot of like, I mean, the July calendar is already up, and hopefully some of those topics will interest you guys. It's on my Instagram. Anyone watching or watching the VOD later, My Instagram is listed on the links in the video description, so you can always find more information there or on my Discord. But I have every Wednesday this month planned out for Art After Light, or the remaining Wednesdays. And some of those topics I'm really excited about. It's got some group projects in the future. Not this month, but in future there will be some ideas to work on projects together, which will be really fun. Alright, I'm going to grab a color pencil real quick. Just gonna see if I can very quickly scribble on. I said I wasn't going to spend much time on the leaves because it's a background thing, but I guess I am spending most of my time on the leaves. Alright. Good note for the future when I do the other time sections is the leaves take up a lot of time. Find a way to do the leaves very quickly. But yeah, so there's some really fun topics coming up for this month. There will be more planned ahead going into the rest of 2026, which we're halfway through already. Alright, we are down to 10 minutes and 30 seconds, everyone. We're 2/3 of the way there. It might be the time, if you're like 2/3 of the way through the image, then you're probably at a good point. I'm just doing scribbles. Lots and lots of scribbles. Alright, I think the rest of the time will be spent with me adding details to the flowers. This like one little blue line cutting through the middle here is kind of bothering me, but you know, the goal was to accept the art, not to perfect it. Accept it in its organic, in its entirety, in its organic form is what I meant to say, and in its entirety. Okay, so lots of scribbles. Lots of fun colors happening. There's like a central point for these flowers that I'm going to try and accentuate. So when I was setting up the stream, a whole bunch of sirens went by. For anyone who doesn't know, I reside in New York City, and there's always a whole bunch of really loud noises happening a lot of the time, and I was worried that it was going to be siren central once the stream started, but looks like it's relatively quiet for now, but we'll see as the stream progresses. Okay, sorry, I'm checking the reference image on my phone as well. Alright, 8 minutes, a little bit more than 8 minutes. Oops. These subtleties, the subtleties of this orange detail work I'm doing is kind of getting washed out by all the all the lights that I have on here. It's kind of hard to see the work I'm doing, but I'm wondering if maybe I can lower the light a little bit. Okay, and then let's do some of these little clementines. Okay, let's get some. And get some shading on them. Last 7.5 minutes left. We'll get some shading between all these I keep saying clementines. They could be oranges, like mini oranges. They could be tangerines. It's not a siren noise, but that is someone driving with a huge amount of exhaust. I'm just adding some like textural depth to these oranges. Oh, I really like the color on this one. Kind of looks mixed with the blues. I'm trying to like make it a bit blurry and washed out, not too like perfect. I don't want like a ton of line work being very symmetrical or oriented in a perfect way. Alright, just a little bit less than 6 minutes left. I think as the last thing I'd want to add a little bit of like the skin of the clementine has those little dots, those little textured indentations. I'm gonna try and like add that if possible. I'm very curious if people tuning in are also doing this, because I would love to see your works if you are. Trying very hard not to like overload my paintbrush with too much water. Okay, let's do some dimpling. Some dimpling on these. Okay, 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left on our stream, or on this part of the stream. I feel like it looks very different in person compared to how it looks on camera. Not like significantly so, but the colors feel slightly different from what I'm seeing. Okay. The last thing I wanted to do was add a little bit more to the flowers. So I felt like the colors I did maybe got washed out like a little bit. Alright, a little bit less than 3 minutes left, everyone. I think I can get this to a place where I'm happy with it within that time. Gosh, 30 minutes is the longest time I've given myself, and I feel like I barely captured everything in this image. Okay, alright. 2 minutes 20. There might be a slight delay. No, it looks like, I don't know. Hopefully there's no delay for you guys, but maybe there's a slight delay in the timer as well, so just a heads up that maybe it might be a couple seconds off between what I see and what you will see on the stream. Okay, I like that I added more blue. It kind of gives it an extra bit of vibrancy, a bit more depth to the flowers. One minute 40 seconds. What I also like about doing that outline in the beginning, that really rough rectangle I made, is that the image is both contained and also breaks out of it, which is very like satisfying for me in compositions. It's like most of the image is within the barriers I'd set, but there's like a certain flower or a little leaf like pokes out beyond the outline, and that just sort of feels very like, I don't know, just feels good, like compositionally to me. It's not too much, not enough for the whole image to be like out of control, but just enough that, oh, there's that siren. Alright, we're down to 45 seconds. 45 seconds. I think I've got most of the image done. I'm gonna just zoom out for you all to see. There we go. Yeah, we've got half a minute left. 26, 25 seconds. I think this is pretty good. The page on the other page below it is also buckling a little bit from all the excess water, but that's okay. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And there we go. That's our first one, everyone. Our first time period for this image is done. I hope everyone did well. I hope everyone enjoyed it. You can take a little break if you need some refreshments, if you need to get some water, get your bearings. We'll take a little break. But yeah, let's see. Let me just make sure I can get the next timer set up. Okay. Yeah. If everyone wants to grab a moment to reorient themselves, get their materials set up. Yeah. Oh, do a little stretch. 30 minutes is a long time to just be crunched over your work. Okay. Yeah, this was a very rough sketch, but the ones following this will be even rougher. Okay. Oh, hey, Eric! I see you on the Discord. You made it! Whoa! That looks great for being on the bus. Oh my gosh. You got so many of the clementines in there. Yeah. Yeah, if you, anyone on chat or VOD watching, art is being put on the Discord. So if you need to see the art, it's on Discord. Looks great, Eric. Wow, I can't believe you did that on the bus. And it was wobbly. No worries. We're gonna get even less stuff in our drawings because the next the next time period is gonna be 10 minutes instead of 30, so we're gonna have to really book it to get everything in there. Alright. Alright, I'm keeping all of my crayons right by me so that I can just easily grab the colors I've been using. I might grab more color pencils rather than these wax crayons. Yeah, so if you have a bunch of stuff next to you and you realize like this method isn't going to work for me, just just get yourself reoriented. This next one's gonna take up less time. Alright, I'm just letting it dry for like half a second, and then let's try and get this 10-minute one set up. So same thing, I'm just going to draw a slightly smaller frame. I think that's my strategy, is that I just make smaller and smaller frames as the times get shorter and shorter, so that it's easier to fill. But yeah. Whew. Alright, sorry, the heat from the lamps is getting to me a little bit. So I'm just staring at, oh my god, look who it is! It's Reagan! Oh my gosh, hello Reagan! Welcome to the stream! How are you? How are you doing? Thank you! I was working on this redesign for quite a while. Yeah, I've got a PNG tuber now. Oh my god, it's so great. I used to stress a lot when it was my face. Like I was streaming my face, and it was mostly because like I was like rushing to do tech troubleshooting in addition to making sure I was like camera ready. But yeah, this is my little character for my business slash creative personality, I guess. Like she's like a manifestation of my alter ego if she were to be, you know, fully creative. Living a creative life in a non-modern world. Aw, thank you, thank you. Will you be participating in the timed study today? We're about to start our second round, which is 10 minutes. The first one was 30, which was this very rough sketch I did within 30 minutes, which means every sketch following will be even more rough. Whew. Yeah, but it must be like 3 o'clock in Seattle, right? Or in Portland, West Coast. It's alright. Hopefully you can tune in at least and see all the silly things I make on my live streams, which are going to be very art focused. Yay! Gosh, that's early. It's already like the sun is already starting to like dip a little bit, but it's still kind of bright out. Whoop whoop. Oh. Yeah, I've got a calendar. For anyone who follows me on Instagram, they can see the calendar. It's also on the Discord. But yeah, I have a calendar of events planned for the live streams every Wednesday for this month. I also have a bunch planned for future months, but those will roll out as we hit those months. And yeah, the rest of the month is gonna be a bit more relaxed. It'll be like different studies into doing like figure studies, landscape studies, and a little bit, the last prompt is a little bit tricky because it's visualizing a poem, which I read this poem last year and I really loved it, and I had it saved, and I like read it every once in a while, and I really wanted people to talk about sort of how to visualize, I guess like for me, trying to find illustrative work and do illustrative things is to visualize words into images. And this poem was both like very emotionally and descriptively heavy, so it's just like, but it kind of balanced the two really well. Like it talks about a plum, like you know what a plum looks like, but it has all these like emotions and wistful, hopeful things wrapped around this like idea of your vision of a plum. And I really wanted to see how people would take that sort of visual language and turn it into something on the page physically. And that's the kind of like, that was the more like abstract, okay, I hope people are okay with this if I toss it out there sort of idea. So, but yeah, the last one for the month is very, very different from the other, just formal, like we'll look at this picture and do a recreation of it. But yeah, lovely to see people I know in my life showing up at my streams, which is wild. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into part 2 of the time study. This one's going to be 10 minutes, so we're cutting off 20 minutes from the earlier time. So if you are ready, I'm going to get started in 3, 2, and 1. All right, the countdown has begun. Is that a goat? It's a little goat. All right, so no time to lose because we don't have much time. Again, I'm just going straight into my reliable Caran d'Ache little pastel wax crayons. Bah. I'm like not even looking at the reference picture now. I'm just kind of mindlessly drawing orange circles just to fill the page quickly. I think I'm adding more clementines than I did before. Alright, my crayon broke on me, so I'm just gonna have to... Okay, this is gonna be real rough. This is gonna be a real rough one. I've also gotten into this habit of, I used to like always have white noise when I was doing creative work. Like I would have like a gaming live stream playing in the background, or I would have some sort of podcast on in the background, like just people talking. I needed to have like people talking in the background. So for a long time, for the past like 2 years, I want to say, it was sort of regular for me to just, so I like watched videos multiple times, because I just needed like a bunch of people talking in the background while I did things. But recently I've either not listened to anything at all, or I've listened to like nature sounds, like this one that I'm playing right now. And I think it's helped me just sort of focus, because I didn't realize like how much energy and mental attention listening to someone all the time was. I'm gonna try a new green. Oh no. Yeah, I didn't realize like how much energy it took to have your mind divided between a bunch of people talking all the time. So yeah, even if it was a video I'd seen like before, it was still taking up a lot of mental load to process like things. So I would like lose concentration. So I actually find it a lot better to have sort of ambient noises and not even music. I don't even like listen to music anymore. I actually started doing that when I commute to work as well. I just don't have I don't have headphones on. Sometimes I do, but it's like very rare now. I just kind of like, I found that walking in the city is like one of the best times my brain creates things. Like my brain like creates things during certain times of the day. Oh my god, it's already 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. Sorry, I looked away for a moment. But yeah, I was like, there's like certain critical times in my day to day that is very creatively generous to me. And I realized walking, like during my commutes, is extremely like, I've started carrying a notebook when I walk around to work, when I walk to work and from, because sometimes like things just like hit me and I write them down. I also feel that way in a shower. A lot of people I talk to actually tell me that the shower is like a really great way for them to generate ideas. One of my good friends, she might watch this stream, or she might watch the VOD. She told me recently that she started bringing her notebook into the shower with her. Like she would leave it next to the shower and then she would like write things down as she's showering. And I was like, wait, I do that, but with my phone. Like she brings like a physical notebook, and I was like, no, I do the same thing, but I just have my phone with me. And yeah, or I like I get out of the shower when I'm done and I like write it down like immediately, because it's like when I have a dream and I'm like, oh, I'll remember that dream, and then I don't remember the dream. So for me, it's very important to get things down on paper. I have the same thing happen when I shower. Reagan has the same experience. See, yeah, it's just like your body goes into autopilot, so your mind is allowed to just sort of wander. And I get like really great ideas in the shower. I get really great ideas when I go walking. So I stopped listening to music when I walk. I used to listen to, again, podcasts and music when I would commute to work. I don't do that anymore. I just, on the rare occasions I do listen to something, like a very, like, I don't know, Enya or something while I'm walking, I will have only one headphone in. I would have only one piece of a headphone set in my ear, or like an earpiece, just the one. And the other, I just like kind of have my brain sort of multitask that way. But yeah, walking, I live in a very walkable city, so I'm taking full advantage of the fact that I can just like walk and let my mind wander. I've heard from my friends and colleagues as well that they do that when they're on the bus and their commute is long. Also, we've got a little under 4 minutes left. Okay, I think I've got like the general colors down. Oh, this is very, very different from my first attempt. Wow, time crunches are stressful. Wait, sorry. I looked away and I did a brush stroke in a direction I didn't want to. But yeah, I've realized that in the mornings when I wake up, I try to do two things now. I try to block my apps, my social media apps in the morning and late at night, because I've been falling deep into Instagram rabbit holes. Like I would just watch a video, and that is the point of Instagram and social media, is to keep you on there indefinitely. And so I've tried to find ways to not be on there as soon as I wake up. I might invest in a brick someday, but yeah. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Alright, the rest of this is going to be colored pencils. But yeah, oh, this is not coming out dark enough. Maybe I'll use black. Or maybe I'll use like a really dark brown, and then maybe that will give it some gradation. Yeah, I've been trying not to get on Instagram as soon as I wake up, and I also have started playing sort of ambient nature stuff rather than like people talking or things that require my attention a little bit more. So those have been my two sort of life-altering things to my habit. Wow, this is very different from my first drawing. And I've only got 1 minute and 40 seconds to finish it. I like scribbles. I like chunky scribbles here and there. It's just sort of a return to my sort of inclinations as a child, you know, because like when I look at a lot of people do art professionally, and you see like people's earlier, like when they were learning art and being students, they would kind of do things very realistically, follow the techniques, but then as these artists advance, their styles become simplified, more noticeably theirs. 40 seconds left, everyone. And also very more like childlike. Like when I say stylized, it just becomes much more, I feel like it's just opened a door into their way of seeing the world as a child. Okay, I think I've got 20 seconds left. This This is very, very rough. I don't hate it though. I like that I used 2 different oranges for the different clementines. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that was 10 minutes, everyone. Wow. This was the first. This was the second. Wow, that is very different. Even the camera is like, what is happening? Wow, okay. Well, good to know. Good to know how my style is simplified when under a time crunch. Let me see. I'm trying to remember exactly how much time we set up. I think I said 5 minutes. So, yeah. 30 minutes, 5 minutes. 30 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we're now doing 5 minutes. Oop. Like scrolled and the thing changed. Okay, we've got it down to 5. Whew. 10 minutes is not very long. 10 minutes is incredibly short. It's also obliterating my paper, but that was to be expected. Oh yeah, thanks Eric! I see your Discord message. Finally made it home, huh? Alright, thanks for joining in. That's your 10-minute one? It looks great. Oh my god, you got so much done on the page. And shading. Aw, thanks for joining in, Eric. I hope I see you at the next one if you can make it. Yeah, but make it home safe. Cheers! Alright. If anyone's joining in, take a break. Take a moment. Grab like a cup of water. I'm just doing a little tech check. See if everything looks okay. Okay. Whew. I feel like I've been preparing for this stream for like a bit of a while now. Just like all the prep for having a PNG tuber, which I'm really happy with how she turned out. But she was also like an idea that I've been generating for quite a while, so I'm glad I took the time to I'm glad I took the time to put some thought into like how I wanted my streams to be moving forward. But yeah, this is really fun. This was a good image to choose because it kind of captures the reference for both in very different ways. But yeah, this was a very panicked drawing. The next one's going to be even more panicked because it's 5 minutes. So yeah, if anyone is participating, we've got 5 minutes on this next round for the time study. We're just getting progressively shorter. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I scribbled so hard that the paper on the back has got a lot of wounds in it. It's got a lot of marks in it. I tried to go through. Alright, so 5 minutes. I'm going to make this frame a little bit smaller. Okay. Yeah, the first one definitely looks like it had a lot of effort put into it, which makes sense. I spent a lot of time just sort of gabbing and drawing in a way that was very leisurely now that I've experienced a third of that time. Alright everyone, it's 7:03. We're an hour into the stream already, which is wild. Okay, this next one is going to be for 5 minutes. So if you've got your art supplies in front of you, also even if you watch this on the VOD, I hope you can still take the time to, because the timers will still be the same, so maybe you'll take the time to still participate and do this on your own schedule, and it doesn't have to be during the live stream. And then you can still put your final artworks onto the Discord. I would love to see that regardless. But yeah, I would love, it's like me trying to encourage everyone to sort of share work that's impartially done, things that are done in a rush, things that haven't been perfected, things that show more like practice skills rather than finalization. I'm one of those people that really loves seeing artists like sketch works and behind the scenes stuff rather than the final outcome. Final outcomes are great, but I really love seeing like sketchy undertones and things of a rougher nature rather than like final polishing. So yeah, this is like a way for me to just see everyone's version of that. So yeah, please, I mean, I've said it many times and you're probably sick of it, but join the Discord if you can, so that you can share all your beautiful artwork and I can see it and I can compliment you. But yes, we're gonna go for 5 minutes this time. So if you have your art supplies in front of you, reorient yourself to the ones that you would like to use, because we're gonna jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, countdown has begun. Maybe I'll try a different orange to start with. All right, 5 minutes is going to go by real quick. So just kind of filling in large areas for now. My crayons are getting obliterated. Going for a darker blue. Not really a blue I would have chosen, but I'm trying different colors, trying to see what sticks. And if I have time, I might mix it with other colors, who knows. Maybe I'll like add a ring of light blue, and then, because I'm gonna go over this with water and it'll blend. Maybe that'll achieve something. Okay, let's do a quick green. Quick little green. Let's do one more up here. Okay, alright. This whole thing is getting greenified. Also, this is like a really great way to fill up a sketchbook. If you have sketchbooks that you need to fill, this is the way to do it. Centerpiece, big composition, very, very rough line work, color work, and you're just trying to complete an image. I feel like a lot of the times, oh, we're halfway through already, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I feel like because social media presents such a filtered look into the creative process that like, I know I personally feel a lot of intimidation when I see people's like sketchbooks, because so many sketchbooks online are, the pages that are shown are usually ones that are like immaculate. Immaculately filled, immaculately done. They look like final art pieces, but it's all in the sketchbook, and it doesn't feel very like sketchbooky to me. It kind of just feels almost like a gallery of work, and for maybe for a lot of the artists I follow, at least, it probably is just their final artwork, because they're very talented people. But I've also, you know, meet creatives like in person, and when I see sketchbooks like in the personal lives of like, or like in person with people I see who live creative lives, it is not like Instagram at all. There are like big blank spaces sometimes. There's work that's like, you know, very roughly done. There's just line work. Or there's just like a random scribble. And that to me is like, that to me is the best form of a sketchbook, is this melting pot of ideas. And they're just meant to contain a moment rather than something you obsessively try to curate. So 45 seconds, wow. Okay, these look like little black holes, but that's okay. Wow, these are getting real simplified. Yeah, I thought I would have time to add maybe a little shading to these, but I guess not. Just have enough time to do the little dots inside. 22 seconds. Can do it. Can I do it? Okay, 13 seconds. Maybe some shading. Can get some shading in. I don't know. It's not gonna show very well because the water's still drying. That's the one downside about doing a time study. There we go. All right, gonna have to do pencils down. Ah, sorry, clicked the wrong window. Whew, okay. All right. Wow. So for anyone tuning in, this is how 30 minutes looked. This was 30 minutes. 30 minutes of drawing. And then this was 10 minutes. And then 5. Very different again. Very different. I'm glad I decided to go with like the smaller frames. It kind of gives me sort of anticipation on filling. It just kind of puts my mind at ease, filling ahead of time. Just like the scale of the images are getting smaller and smaller. I kind of actually like the colors of this one better, surprisingly. Like, considering that this was like done in half the time as this one, I actually like the color choices I made here. This is wild. These are all drawn with the same intention, the same reference photo, and yet they all look so dissimilar from each other. Okay, so we did 5 minutes. The next one coming up is going to be 2, I believe. I keep losing track of my own schedule. Yes, 2 minutes. Whew. All right, gonna take a little break from that because that was a lot. That was a lot of rushing. I can't even imagine how quick 10 seconds is going to be. 10 seconds, I'm going to say like, okay, start. And literally me moving from my keyboard to my sketchbook will probably take 2 seconds. Whew. But yeah, I hope everyone's summer is going really great. We just went through a major heat wave here in the East Coast. It was really hot for a very long time. But I think we're starting to taper off a little bit, which is good. But yeah, I have a hypothesis that the heat will kind of last longer. As in, like, we'll get heat waves and higher temperatures going into like October, maybe November. It feels like summer keeps getting pushed later into the year, and our winters are also getting longer and they're getting pushed. Because I feel like we were still getting pretty cold temperatures in May, end of April, May. I remember I still had to like day to day I didn't know what to wear because I would have to bring different layers. And it wasn't until we hit June that we started getting like consistently warm temperatures. But 'tis the nature of things right now, unfortunately. I'm just like planning ahead because I have so many lamps on and it's generating quite a lot of heat. And I'm just imagining like if I stream on a day where it's like 100 degrees, This lamp situation is gonna be real rough. I'm excited for our next stream though, because that's gonna be, I'm gonna be using a reference picture from Pride and Prejudice, one of my favorite movies. I read the book as well in high school. I did a senior book report on it because we were asked, one of our assignments was to do an assignment on a book that we read as well as its movie adaptation. So I did Pride and Prejudice, and I really loved that scene of the two Bennet sisters together. It was just like the movie itself is it just feels very esoteric, and it just feels very lush, like all the scenery, the mood, the atmosphere. I just felt like, I don't know, it was creating, it wasn't just like being historically accurate, parts of it was, but it felt like the story that they portrayed was authentic to itself and made sense within its own universe. I saw a fun YouTube video analyzing different period movies and how, you know, directors and production teams can go for movies that are historically accurate as much as possible. And while Pride and Prejudice isn't exactly the most historically accurate, it was accurate within its own universe. Like, for instance, like, she discussed Lizzie Bennet's like tendency to just kind of wander, and like her clothes reflect her wandering sensibilities and her sort of free-mindedness. So she would like be reading in a field. Like a lot of her scenes were in nature, and so her clothes like reflected that. So a lot of her stuff was like really worn down and mud splattered, and when she did wear like cleaner clothing and more like ballroom style clothing, it was like a stark contrast to how she is in her day-to-day life. So it just felt like the way they portrayed her made sense within the universe the movie was trying to create. Whereas like Bridgerton, which I really love, I love that series very much, it is extremely stylized, and it's a little bit more built around cathartic emotional moments rather than world building. I think that's the word. I think that's what I appreciate in effort for many stories is how far you're willing to go into the world building. And yeah, sorry, this ended up being a huge tangent on how much I love Pride and Prejudice, but that's why I was very excited to choose it as a topic for next week, so that we can do some figure studies, which is very difficult for me. I also tend to stylize. I'm actually going to try and figure out if I want to do a very realistic version but then I would label it as a master study then, because a master study tries to replicate what the original artist did as much as possible. And in this case, I actually don't want to do that. I just kind of want to be authentic to developing, or like try to develop the skills involved with getting the figures, getting the tension between the two characters done correctly, rather than try to replicate how they look exactly. The goal is not realism, so perhaps that's where I will go. I will probably end up stylizing a little bit, but try to bring my own version into the story of the photo taken. So, all right, that's enough rambling from me. I'm just going to do a quick little frame for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is very short. These are getting smaller and smaller, which was the goal. Just hydrating slowly throughout the day. I should have had more water available, but alright, so if everyone is ready, oh, thanks Reagan. Thanks for coming in and joining during my inaugural stream. It does feel weird not having like eye contact with you through the camera, because, you know, this is my first time doing a PNG tuber, but But yeah, I hope you're doing great. And yes, have a good rest of your day. I hope to see more of your awesome artwork. I'm gonna try and see if I can do West Coasty stuff next year. This year I was trying to keep it local and at home, but next year I would love to visit some friends, and yeah. But yeah, that will be next year's planning. This year I will be home, but yeah, next year hopefully we'll catch up, and also like come hang out every Wednesday. Alright, thanks Reagan. Say hi to Zach for me. Okay, we're gonna do 2 minutes. Thank you. Alright. Sorry, the siren went by. I'm just waiting for the siren to go away so it doesn't ruin the mood. Alright. 2 minutes. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3 minutes, everyone. Alright, I'm gonna do the light orange. And I'm not even gonna lift the crayon off the page. It's just staying on the page. That siren is not going away. It sounded like it was moving away, but now it's moving closer. I'm very confused. I'm gonna end up blinking and it's gonna be 2 minutes, minute and a half in. Alright, 1 minute and 12 seconds left, my god. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have like, give myself 20 seconds to apply some water, but yeah, this is gonna be, it's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, 48 seconds left. Okay, 27 seconds. Not much time. Oh boy. 11 seconds. Just dabbing on water here at this point. 5 seconds. Ah! I'm cheating. There we go. Whew. Wow. 2 seconds is like nothing. Oh, sorry. 2 minutes is like nothing. Oh, that was hard. Alright. Well, this is 2 minutes worth of work. Just barely enough time to do a little dot. Oh my god. So different. Each of these are very different. The colors keep changing because I keep grabbing crayons at random and just putting them on the page. Alright, I think this next one I chose 30 seconds. Which I'm kind of second guessing now, but you know, this is meant to be a challenge. Alright, take another second. I feel like we just barreled through that one with hardly any time to perfect anything. Alright. Refresh yourself. And yeah, just letting this dry for another like second. And then this next one, oh my god, you can see the water just bleeding through the page from my urgency. Okay, I said 30 seconds for this next one, so it's going to be even smaller. It's actually really fun to see all of them together. See like the first Oh, I can hear an ice cream truck go by. Yeah, here's the first. Yeah, for anyone tuning in, this is the 30-minute one. 30-minute one was really fun. Real casual. Had a real buffer for for doing things. And then this one was the 10-minute one. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. We're going into 30 seconds now. Let's see if I can maybe get the camera a bit closer for everyone to see all of my panicked drawing. Alright. If anyone's joining in, 30 seconds is the next one. Let me see if maybe I can get like my materials prepped, which is a little bit cheating. Okay. Just 30 seconds is just not going to be enough time. I'm actually going to hold my materials in my hand so I can just grab them. Alright, so we're actually going to start the 30 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. I'm not even looking at the reference picture. I'm just kind of going by. Yeah, we're halfway there. Alright, and that's 30 seconds. Oh my god. Look at this drawing. This drawing doesn't mean anything. This drawing is nothing. Oh my gosh. 30 seconds was nothing. Whew. 10 seconds is gonna be even worse. I might not even flip the page. I might just do a little one right here. Yeah, this little guy is gonna be the 10-second one. Unbelievable. 30 seconds was hardly anything. Alright. Can't believe I have 10 seconds on the clock now. Alright. Let me just grab my materials because I know I'm not gonna have time. Actually gonna label these. Okay. All right. We're gonna attempt the 10-second one. We'll see how that one goes. All right. If everyone's ready, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 10 seconds is abysmal. 10 seconds was nothing. Oh my gosh. Look at my 10-second one. My 10-second one hardly shows anything. Alright. Okay, we're approaching 7:30. An hour and a half and we have 6 drawings, which is a good track record. I think that's a good productive use of your time if you're trying to fill a sketchbook. But yeah, a little tour of the artwork that was done. 30 minutes. We spent a leisurely 30 minutes drawing out this summer bouquet. And then we have some lovely ones from Eric in our Discord chat, so feel free to join the Discord and have your artwork up there for everyone to see. This is going to be a community of people that, support each other in our artistic endeavors. It's not going to be anything critique. We're not defaulting to a critique heavy stream. But if there is, like, I know that some people value that as well, and it can be an invaluable thing to utilize if you have peers that can look at your work and give you really good feedback. So unless people ask for that sort of thing, we're not going to go into critiquing unless there's a sizable amount of the community that would benefit from it. So yeah, so no critiquing, just for the enjoyment of all, and so we can share each other's artistic talents and endeavors and the work that we put into developing our skills. That's the goal for everyone sharing their artwork. So I'm going to be putting mine up onto the Discord channel so that you guys can see, so you don't have to watch the entire VOD. But yeah, that was the 30-minute one. This is the 10-minute. I'm actually kind of finding the 10-minute one a bit endearing now. But I think this one, the 5-minute one, was surprisingly good and fun. I don't know what I did with the flowers, but I think I captured the flowers a bit more stylistically in my head better than in the 10-minute one. And then this one was the 2-minute one. Still got some. I cheated a little bit on this one. Some of the orange dots should not be in there, but I panicked and I did. It's like when your test is about to be over and you like continue to write answers, or fill out your Scantron past the close off time. But yeah, this is the 2-minute one, and then we've got 30 seconds and 10 seconds. You can see all the crayon marks on my hands because of my panicked drawing. All right, but yeah, that's it. That's the time study, everyone. If you participated and did your own artwork, again, would love to see it. Best way to share it is on Discord. The link to it will always be in the description below my videos. We are planning to do more fun studies moving forward. I have July's schedule already on my Instagram as well as on the Discord so that you can see and reference which ones you'd like to carve time out for, because I know Wednesday nights don't work for everyone all the time. So yeah, if there's ever any interest in me redoing a study, I'm open to it. But otherwise, yeah, expect every calendar to drop at the beginning of the month, so you can plan ahead. And then you can join these streams on and off as you go. Would love to get to know more of the community as you participate in these art studies and join in. And yeah, I would love to know more about everyone's creative goals and what you're hoping to achieve, or it doesn't have to be achieve like anything that you have to work towards. It could be just something to relax to or listen to a bunch of people talk about artsy things. But yeah, that is my stream. That is the Art After Light live stream. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to my friends who showed up. That was amazing. So good to see like people I know in my life like show up virtually. It's great. And yeah, it's just as exciting when I see my friends in person as well. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. And my username is 𝔸𝕗𝕗. You'll find all the links below. But yeah, I've got Instagram, I've got YouTube, I've got Discord, I've got my own website, but that's always like very, very poorly updated. But yeah, if you liked what you saw, please leave a comment or join the Discord and let us know who you are. We have an introductions page. And yeah, I'm going to do figure studies next Wednesday, same time, and we're going to be drawing the Bennett sisters from Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you at the next one. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Thank you and welcome to the inaugural Art After Light. And I will see you all later, travelers.